Monday night, we're in the basement. We're working on steering box for the Cub Cadet original. Yesterday it was fairly nice outside, so I took time to pull it off the tractor. The job takes about 40 minutes or so. You got to remove the center console to get it out. These two bolts here hold it to a piece of angle bracket that bolts to the frame. And then you got to remove the tie rod there and the steering wheel up at the top, and it comes right out. The reason I took it out, I was having some steering issues. The steering was binding up and it was getting really tough to turn. I started doing it at some point over the winter. I gave it a quick spritz and it seemed to loosen up, but the other day I was using it, it started to get real tight again, so took it apart. It's pretty simple. Steering wheel mounts at this end. There's just a cap nut there, a little plastic bushing that centers the steering rod inside the column there. At this end here we have this lever, and this lever pivots and drives the steering linkage at the bottom there as you turn the wheel. We'll go ahead and take it apart. Take the locking nuts off. There's a little copper washer there. But inside it's pretty simple as well. You have a seal here with a little gasket on it. You have a pivot pin and this worm gear here that this locator pin rides in. So as you rotate the shaft up here with the steering wheel, that worm gear rotates around and drives that shaft back and forth. The lever pivots on the pivot point and turns your front wheels. So that's all there is to it. This whole shaft here is located with two ball bearings on this end, and it's all held in place with one big cap screw at the bottom there. Let's see where that is. Over here. So I use this spanner wrench that happens to belong to my angle grinder, and it fits in that slot there and gives you enough leverage to get it out. This one I took apart. It was full of crap. I mean, the grease was just ridiculously cruddy. The ball bearings were just packed with junk. So I soaked it overnight and cleaned it up, cleaned all the ball bearings out, and I got to re-lubricate it. I took a wire brush to everything, or wire wheel, cleaned up all the crappy paint that was on here, repainted it yesterday. It cured overnight, and when I get home from work today, put it all back together. But the operation is much smoother now, and I'll go ahead and put that back together and show you. Just a copper washer. The locking nuts, when you put them on, tighten them up all the way and then back it off a little bit so the shaft moves freely. And then lock them together. And they'll come undone. I'll just do these hand tight now because I still have to grease it all up. It does have a Zerk fitting, so you can add grease to it to maintain it. But the other thing is this tapered pin here that rides inside the worm gear. That's also adjustable so that you can take extra slop out of the steering mechanism by driving that in further. So right now, this was not even possible to move. There was no way I could hand rotate this. That's how bad it was. So now everything moves nice and freely. The bearings are nice and clean. We'll lubricate it up, put it back together, but because I had to disassemble half the tractor, I pulled the engine on it. And I think I'm going to go through and do a full respray the whole thing, because the paint's in pretty bad shape. There's some rust here and there. And I do like it, so I think I'm going to try and repaint it and take care of it. And we'll see how it goes, but I should have more videos from that as I make progress on it. That's all for now.